Hey folks, Moses Woodson here from High Desert Homestead. You'll have to excuse the traffic. I'll let it pass before I continue talking. Got the horses out here today on lead line out by the road. There's grass growing in the ditches from all the rain we've been having. This is Blaze the Wonder Horse. We have a joke. It's a wonder he's alive because the condition that we got him in was pretty rough. We've got pictures of him. Anna's been riding him. She's rode him 5 or 6 times, I think. Maybe more. I can't keep up with him. He's a young stud horse. He's a Tennessee walking horse. He's gaited. We brought him all the way from Tennessee with the rest of our horses. If you've seen any of our vlogs, you've seen him on there. You've seen him kind of grow up on there. He's still a young stud horse. We haven't castrated him yet. He's a good horse. Anna's over there with Cowboy. You can't see Anna. See Cowboy over there eating. All of our projects are over there. We ain't done none of those yet. Kind of wanted to plant some potatoes today here on this place where we rent. We know we're probably going to be here through the summer, so we'd kind of like to supplement our grocery bill with some homegrown vegetables. There's old Spurs coming up. We had him out here earlier. He injured his foot. Anna's going to put out a full-length video. I think she's going to put it on her vlog, on her YouTube channel. She's got one because she's been the one taking care of him all this time. He cut his foot real bad on the front. He's been out there moving around quite a bit. Doesn't seem to be bothering him a whole lot. He's going to come up here and say howdy. We got the yard fenced off, gate shut. He can run around the yard and eat what grass there is over there. Ain't much. More on this side of the fence than there is on that side of the fence. Winds are blowing. Pretty day. I'm just kind of kicking back. I had dental surgery. About a week apart, they pulled my tooth and they kind of broke my jawbone a little bit and chipped it. It was giving me problems. I had to go back in. I had to shave it. So I ain't been feeling like much. Been working. Took one day off. Spurs over there while this traffic passes. We got more traffic on this road. Cars got oats. I think that's one thing I'll definitely enjoy out there on the Homestead. It's so quiet out there. Some of these old trucks are really loud too, boy. Combine that with the wind blowing, it ain't very peaceful. It don't never stop either. Traffic. I'll definitely enjoy the peace and quiet out there on the Homestead once we get there. I don't like to take photos or videos of cars passing. Anyway, get to what I was saying. Get to what I had on my mind today. I hadn't said it yet. I was listening to some people this week and listened to them talking about love and trying to explain love. And the scripture says in the Gospels, it says Jesus told them to love the Lord thy God. It's one of the very first commandments. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul, all thy might, all thy mind. And we tend to, in this society, we tend to be reciprocal about our love. We give our love based upon what people give us. And I think excuse the wind. I think we have missed the boat when it comes to understanding the love of God. When you ask people what do they love about God, they generally start to tell you what he's done for them. And all those things are good. But what if he had never done any of those things for you? What if he never did anything for you? God is. If we don't love God for who He is, then I think we're missing the picture. Lord Jesus. In our society, we tend to love people because of what they do for us. And we tend to take and return it. And when they don't do for us, we tend to withhold it. That's the way society works. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. But that's not the way the love of God is. If God never done another thing for me, if He'd never done anything for me, He's still God. He's still God, and He's worthy to be praised. He's worthy to be honored. I was thinking about the angels today. The angels fall before Him, and they cry, holy. There's people crying. There's the 4 and 20 elders, and if you read Revelations, and the angels, and all the things that are going on in the throne room of God, and they're crying, holy, holy, holy. And it's not about what He does. Now, what He does is a direct result of who He is. But people's allegiance, people's loyalty tends to be directly related to how much they love, how much someone does for them. The divorce rate in our country is so high because people say they're just not doing it for me now. They don't make me feel a certain way. I don't feel in love. I've fallen out of love. Maybe you forgot who they were. And if you enter into a relationship solely based upon what people do for you, it's a sad relationship. I want what somebody does to be a direct result of who they are. And that's why I love them. Not because of what they do. I've been reading the first 5 books of the Bible here. Actually been listening to them on my phone. And the children of Israel at Mount Sinai, they didn't like the God of smoke and fire and lightnings and thunderings from the cloud. They didn't like that. They wanted Moses to go deal with that. Now, they didn't deny that God did those things, that He brought them out of Egypt, that all the plagues were done, by God. They just didn't like the way God was. They didn't like who He was, who He is. And they said, Moses, you go deal with that. So they made their own God out of a molten calf. They had Aaron make a molten calf. And they said, this is the God that brought us out of Egypt. See? And I think today people make up their own gods in their own mind. And they say, this is God. This is the way God is. And it's solely based upon what He does, not who He truly is. He is God. You have to take Him all in all. You can't just take the parts you like. You can't just take the things He does and say, this is God. Because what He does is a direct result of who He is. We've got to take and refocus our relationships on not what people do for us. I had a buddy of mine I hadn't talked to in a long time. He'd lost my number. I'd lost his number. We'd all switched phones. We all upgraded phones. We just lost all of our numbers. He did. He's busy. I'm busy. And I hadn't spoke with him in over a year, almost 2 years. And as soon, he's a good Christian buddy of mine. And as soon as I got in touch with him, As soon as I took and I talked to him, when we were done speaking, we didn't speak that long. I was busy. He was busy. He said, I love you. I said, I love you too. And it has nothing to do. I hadn't seen the man in 2 years almost. Hadn't talked to him in forever. And it wasn't based upon what we do for each other. We hadn't spoken it. It's based on who we are. He knows who I am. I know who he is. And I love him because of that. You going to choke their horse? I think we need to refocus our relationships. We need to look at who people are, not what they are to us. Not what they do for us. I don't love my wife because of what she does for me. I love her for who she is, her heart. A lot can be said about old David, but David said he was a man after God's own heart. He was after who God was, who God is. He wasn't after what God did. Just some food for thought as I sit out here on a Sunday morning, heading into the afternoon, letting the horse graze. Thoughts that run through my mind. I got a lot of thoughts that run through my mind. Sorry about the traffic. Never ends. If we stop looking at people for just what they can do for us, we start looking at who they are and love them for who they are. If we stop looking at just what God does for us, but start looking about who he is and start diligently seeking him. Stop seeking. The scripture says if a man's going to come to God, he must first believe that God is and that he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him, not seek what he does. I think today most people seek God for what he does. They want the blessings. They want the benefits of a relationship without the relationship. I don't want to look for what God does. I want to look for God. I want to find God. I told some people one time and so got some people coming up here, so I'm going to end the vlog. Just think about it. Oh, anyway, we had a little bit of a change my view there. Back to what I was talking about. We had a little bit of an irrigation problem. We're on the ditch here, and yet we got another neighbor coming. So anyway, you guys think about that, and I'll take and we'll see you down the road.